We often imagine history as a neat and logical story. Civilizations rose in different parts of the world, separated by oceans far too vast to cross, and for thousands of years they seemed to develop entirely in isolation. But what happens when the evidence no longer supports that story? What do we make of a Sumerian bowl uncovered in South America, a Roman head unearthed in Mexico, or a Norse coin discovered in Native American soil? These artifacts don't belong where they were found in yet. They are their undeniable physical proof that something about our understanding of the past is deeply incomplete. Were ancient civilizations far more advanced than we realize? Or was there something else at work, hidden forces, perhaps even visitors from beyond our world? Today we'll explore 6 of the most mysterious artifacts ever discovered objects that could challenge everything we think we know about history. In 1936, a couple walking along a riverbank near the small town of London, Texas, stumbled upon something extraordinary. Half embedded in a lump of stone was an object no one expected to see: a hammer. Its wooden handle had partially turned to stone, fossilized over time. The iron head, still intact, was sealed tightly within the rock, as if nature itself had built a protective vault around it. When the stone was examined, some geologists claimed it could be more than 100 million years old, dating back to the age of the dinosaurs. Yet the hammer itself did not appear ancient at all. Its head was forged from refined iron, far purer than what is typically found in ancient tools. Its smooth, deliberate shape looked like something crafted with modern knowledge. If true, this suggested the hammer existed long before humans were even believed to have walked the earth. But how could that be possible? Skeptics put forward a simpler explanation. The hammer was created in more recent history, and the surrounding rock had formed around it through a natural process called concretion, where minerals slowly harden around objects. Still, that left troubling questions. Why was it discovered in such a remote location, far from any known mines or industry? And how had its iron head resisted rust for so long, preserved in a way unlike most tools? For many, the London hammer is more than just an ordinary tool. It is a riddle. Could it be proof of a lost civilization, one much older and more advanced than history acknowledges? Or is it evidence of something far stranger, like an object that somehow slipped through time itself? Even today, the London hammer remains locked away, secrets unresolved, a simple tool that by all logic should not exist. High in the mountains of Bolivia, near the legendary lake Titicaca, lies a mystery carved in stone, the Fuente Magna Bowl. At first glance, it looks like any other ancient vessel. Weathered, heavy, nothing remarkable. But inside its surface are markings, strange symbols that seem entirely out of place. They don't resemble South American designs. They don't match the local cultures. Instead, they appear almost identical to cuneiform writing, the script of the Sumerians. One of the world's earliest civilizations, born thousands of years ago in Mesopotamia, on the opposite side of the world. How could such writing find its way to Bolivia? Did ancient people cross oceans long before history says they could? Or could two civilizations, separated by thousands of miles, have somehow shared the same language? Most scholars dismiss the bowl as a hoax. Yet here's the problem. No one has ever proven it false. The bowl exists. The inscriptions are real. And to this day, no one agrees on how they came to be there. For some, the Fuente Magna Bowl is evidence that ancient peoples were far more connected than our history books suggest. For others, it hints at something even stranger, knowledge passed down from forces we still don't fully understand. In the end, the Fuente Magna Bowl is more than just a vessel. It is a riddle, one that refuses to be solved. In the cradle of civilization, ancient Mesopotamia, a mystery remains buried beneath the sands. Archaeologists excavating in southern Iraq unearthed objects unlike anything else from that era, small figurines over 7,000 years old. They belong to the long-forgotten Ubaid culture, one of the earliest societies in recorded history. At first, these figures seemed ordinary, simple human carvings. But as the dust was carefully brushed away, their true faces emerged. They did not look human at all. They bore elongated skulls, slanted and unblinking eyes, and thin, scaled bodies that looked far closer to reptiles than to people. Some were sculpted in unusual postures as though engaged in strange rituals. Each one was carved with striking precision, deliberate and purposeful. Yet here lies the problem. The Ubaid people left behind no written records, no stories to explain who these beings were, no myths etched in stone. The statues stand in silence, their meaning lost to time. Were they gods worshipped by the Ubaid, symbols of authority, or something even more mysterious? Some researchers whisper that they might represent visitors not of this earth, preserved in clay by those who once saw them. Others suggest they could be echoes of ancient myths, depictions of serpent-like beings that haunted the imaginations of early peoples. Mainstream archaeology dismisses such ideas, insisting the figures are nothing more than artistic exaggerations. But the truth is, no one truly knows why a culture so ancient, so close to the dawn of civilization, would carve human forms with reptilian heads, and that uncertainty is what makes them so unsettling. Today, the Ubaid Lizard figurines sit in museums, staring out with their eternal, unblinking eyes. High in the mountains of central Mexico, an excavation in 1933 revealed something that, by all accounts, should not exist. Inside an ancient grave, archaeologists uncovered offerings typical of the region: pottery, jewelry, and ornaments. But buried among them was an object completely out of place. A small clay head, weathered, fragile, yet instantly recognizable. Its features, the nose, the beard, the overall style, looked unmistakably Roman. Not Aztec, not Mayan. Roman. The problem was that this burial site dated to around 900 AD, centuries before Europeans were thought to have crossed the ocean. By that time, Rome itself had already collapsed. So how could a Roman-style artifact find its way into the heart of Mexico? Some suggest it as proof that sailors from the Old World may have reached the Americas long before Columbus, a forgotten voyage erased by time. Others argue it could have been carried through vast trade networks spanning oceans we once believed were impossible to cross. Skeptics, however, claim it was nothing more than a coincidence, perhaps a modern object somehow planted in the burial site. But here's the catch. The stratigraphy of the soil indicated the head had rested undisturbed for centuries. If genuine, its implications are staggering. It would mean contact between two distant worlds, the Roman and the pre-Columbian, long before history ever recorded such a connection. And yet the head remains, quietly mocking the boundaries of what we believe possible. In 1957, deep within the forests of Maine, a man digging in the soil uncovered something small, yet extraordinary. It was a coin-and-old piece of silver, weathered and worn by time. But when experts examined it, they discovered it was no ordinary find. This was a Norse penny, crafted by Vikings more than 1,000 years ago. Here lies the puzzle. History tells us Vikings were never supposed to reach Maine. They are believed to have landed only as far as parts of Canada to the north. So how did a Viking coin end up buried on Native American land? Some believe the Vikings may have traveled farther south than we realize, trading directly with local tribes. Others suggest the coin may have passed from hand to hand, carried across generations, until it was finally lost in the earth. But another possibility is even more intriguing: that Viking explorers pushed much deeper into North America than history admits, leaving behind subtle traces that are only now being uncovered. Skeptics argue it could simply have been dropped by a collector centuries later. Yet the site where it was discovered was ancient, filled with native tools and artifacts, untouched by modern people. So how could a coin from across the ocean, forged 1,000 years ago, find its resting place here? In 1890, in the frozen Ural Mountains of Russia, miners unearthed something even more astonishing. From the earth emerged a colossal statue, carved from larch wood and standing more than 17 feet tall. When scientists tested it, the results stunned them. The wood was over 12,000 years old. That makes the Shigir Idol twice as old as the pyramids of Egypt, the oldest wooden sculpture ever found. But what makes it truly extraordinary are the carvings. Its entire surface is etched with mysterious markings, zigzags, geometric designs, faces like a code from a forgotten world. Some researchers believe the patterns tell a creation story. Others argue it could be a map, or perhaps a warning left behind by a long-lost people. Yet no one has ever managed to decipher it. The question remains, how did ancient hunters living before the age of farming create something so massive and so intricate? What knowledge did they possess that has since been lost? To stand before the Shigir Idol is to feel a presence reaching across millennia. A reminder that 12,000 years ago, humans were already shaping wood, carving symbols and leaving behind mysteries that endure to this day. The idol has outlasted empires, languages, and entire civilizations. And still, its meaning remains locked in silence.